Did you know Netflix CEO Reed Hastings once stated that his company's biggest rival wasn't YouTube or Amazon or traditional broadcasters, but sleep? Should we then follow this advice and work more hours and sleep less? Absolutely not. In this series, we will delve into why drowsiness is a red alert. Sleep is not just downtime. It's crucial for our brain to perform vital functions. So let me tell you why. First, our brain loves sleep. Think about our brain like a sponge that gets full of water. Sleep is like wringing out that sponge so that it's ready to soak up for the next day. With sleep, you can file away memories so they can be recalled later. So it's like organizing files in a cabinet or saving them on your computer. Second, just like muscles grow stronger with exercise, brain can form stronger connections with cells with that exercise that we get during sleep. And third, sleep helps maintain the body's energy. So, a little bit like charging a battery. Without it, the brain runs on low power, and that affects everything from your mood to the decisions you make. So, don't listen to Reed Hastings. Sleep is necessary, and drowsiness is a red alert.
Ay, levántate. Qué sueño. Are you always feeling sleepy or have trouble going to sleep? If so, you might be experiencing the following common sleep disorders. So let's go through some of them. Number 1, insomnia. Do you know that insomnia affects 1 in 4 adults? People with insomnia usually talk about trying to sleep and being unable to turn off their brains. What starts as a symptom can easily become a syndrome. This is called chronic insomnia. Symptoms occurring 3 times a week and have been happening for at least 3 months. Chronic insomnia affects approximately 15% of people and can lead to decreased quality of life and even a higher risk of depression and anxiety. It's not just about tossing and turning at night. Insomnia can also cost the US up to $100 billion a year, since it leads to decreased productivity and more work accidents. But the good news, most people with insomnia can get better with the right treatment. Cognitive behavioral therapy is often recommended as a first line of treatment. Number two is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where your breathing stops and starts repeatedly during sleep, leading to a restless night and a tired day. Sleep apnea can lead to long-term negative outcomes such as type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, and a shorter lifespan. But it's also treatable and it is curable. The most common treatment is a CPAP machine, which is a device that uses a mask and a hose to blow pressurized air into the airway to keep it open during sleep. One common misconception is that this machine is large and it's loud, but the modern machines are actually about the size of 3 stacked iPhones and they're pretty silent. Moreover, these machines are sometimes not the best fit, but there are alternative treatments such as implantable devices and surgeries. So if you're snoring loudly or just feel exhausted during the day, maybe it's a good time to talk to your doctor about sleep apnea. Number 3 is a central nervous system hypersomnolence. That's another category of sleep disorders, and it's characterized by irrepressible need to sleep and excessive daytime sleepiness. Some of its common causes are insufficient sleep, sleep apnea, and circadian misalignment, such as jet lag, for example. Examples of this hypersomnolence include narcolepsy, which affects 1 in 2,000 people and can cause sudden sleep attacks during the day, idiopathic hypersomnia, which is characterized by excessive sleep inertia when waking up, and brain fog. And let's not forget Klein-Levin syndrome, a rare condition where people can sleep up to 21 hours a day during episodes. However, there are treatments to reduce the symptoms. So if you're experiencing an excessive urge to fall asleep at inappropriate times or sleep for very long periods of time without feeling refreshed, it might be time to talk to your doctor. Sleep is a fascinating paradox. It's a natural, restorative, psychological process characterized by perpetual disengagement. Yet, it must be rapidly reversible to allow us to respond to our environment. Sleep is a foundation for cognitive and metabolic functions, making it a relevant aspect of our daily lives. Our sleep is governed by a complex system known as a sleep cycle and rhythm. The sleep cycle consists of 4 stages. The non-rapid eye movement, called NREM, with 3 stages, and those are followed by the rapid eye movement, REM sleep. Each stage has its unique characteristics and functions, from the light sleep of stage 1, where we can be easily awakened, to the deep restorative stage of stage 3, where our body repairs tissues, builds bone and muscles, and strengthens the immune system. Sleep is both passive and an active state. So during the REM sleep, our brain is highly active, almost as if we were awake, leading to vivid dreams. This stage is crucial for memory consolidation and for emotional regulation. Our bodies naturally cycle through these stages multiple times each night, guided by our circadian rhythm, which is an internal clock that regulates our sleep over a 24-hour period. And this rhythm is influenced by external factors such as light and temperature. That is why drowsiness is a red alert. It's a warning signal that our body is not getting the rest it needs, and it can have serious consequences. So when we feel drowsy, our reaction times are slower, our attention span is slower, and this increases the risk of accidents and errors. In fact, let me tell you that drowsy driving is a major cause of road accidents. Drowsiness is also related to sleep debt, or the cumulative effect of not getting sleep, the sleep that our body needs. However, it's important to know that you can recover from sleep debt by ensuring that you make consistent changes to your sleep behavior so that you get enough sleep. So next time you fall asleep in class due to a boring lecture, think of it as your body telling you that something is wrong with your sleep. Monotony only unmasks that sleepiness. It doesn't actually cause you to fall asleep. So that's why you'll hardly ever see elementary school kids falling asleep in class because they're bored. So get a good night's sleep. Ay, qué rico. Are you addicted to caffeine? Do you feel like you can't get your day started without it? Let's dive into the science behind this familiar friend. Caffeine is like a master of disguise. In our brains, there's this sleepy signal called adenosine. When we're awake for a long time, adenosine builds up and makes us feel tired. But here comes caffeine, blocking adenosine. This is why caffeine puts a stop sign on our tiredness, keeping us wide awake. And blocking adenosine isn't caffeine's only trick. It also turns up the volume and other brain signals that make us feel peppy and alert, like increasing the level of dopamine. Imagine your brain is like a radio and caffeine cranks up the tunes of your favorite energizing songs. But just like anything, too much of a good thing isn't always great. Drinking a lot of caffeine can make your heart race and make you feel jittery, and if you have it late in the day, it can mess up with your sleep. So next time you reach for that cup of coffee, remember the power it holds to keep you awake, and maybe consider when and how much you drink, so that when it's time to go to bed, you can do just that and do it peacefully.
Yeah, no, Joey doesn't share food. I mean, just last week we were having breakfast and he had a couple of grapes on his plate. You wouldn't let her have a grape? Oh, no, not me. Emma.
Joey doesn't share food!
Oh, I can't sleep.
Ever struggle to fall asleep after a late night binge watching session? You might be surprised about how much light affects your sleep. Many of us are aware of the pitfalls of blue light and the habit of scrolling through our phones before hitting the hay. However, the influence of light on our sleep extends beyond that. So today I'll demystify how light impacts our sleep and give you some strategies to optimize light exposure. So what are the aspects of light that affect your sleep? First, timing. Exposing yourself to sunlight in the morning can wake your brain up, while dimming the light in the evening signals it's time to sleep. 2, intensity. Bright light energizes us. That's why bright screens at night can trick our brain into thinking it's still daytime. 3, duration. The longer your exposure to bright lights, especially at night, the more it can delay your sleep. 4, wavelength composition. The blue light from screens, for example, is especially good at keeping us awake. It's like a cup of coffee for our brain. So how does knowing this allow us to improve our sleep? Make mornings bright. Open the curtains or take a short walk outside to get natural sunlight. Dim the lights in the evening. Use softer and warmer lights as bedtime approaches. Avoid evening screen time, only if there's a negative impact on pre-sleep mood. Minimize or eliminate middle of the night light exposure. Tune in for more tips on how to use light to your advantage for a good night's sleep. And remember, sleep is a learned behavior and consistency is key.